Good morning, students. I hope you have listened to the fourth unit left out topics. Now we start the fifth unit. In the fifth unit, the first topic is creation of simple interactive applications. Interactive applications means the applications are classified as two types. One is called as interactive and non-interactive. From the name itself, you understood an interactive application is a collection of objects that is intended for performing certain tasks when the user triggers the command. That means the user has to give the command. That is called as interactive. Non-interactive means without the human interaction or without the human involvement, it will be automatically executed. That is called as non-interactive applications. For an example, a compiler and a batch processing applications. You know a compiler. What is a compiler? A compiler is a program that converts the high-level language programs into machine-level language. Similarly, the batch processing is an execution of series of jobs, a collection of jobs in a program on a computer without manual intervention. So non-interactives does not require any human involvement. Now we are going to discuss in detail about the interactive applications which are going to be prepared by us because we are developing the web application. The output of this unit is how to create the interactive applications on your own, how to design a system on your own. That is, it is similar to that of a project creation and the display you have to implement finally. So for that you have to construct what are the components needed for the projects. Now the interactive applications share a global user interface because that is a graphical user interface. The interactive application consists of forms on which the components such as buttons, text field and radio buttons are present. In interactive application, one page may get linked with another page dynamically. That means if you click that page, it will go to the another page. Especially in case of interactive web applications, this linking of pages is through hyperlinks. This link is based on the user email. Now, a typical examples, we have constructed in the first unit, we have designed the registration form, feedback form like that. So now we have to integrate everything and create as a simple application. So an application consists of multiple forms. Now the typical examples are online course systems, online shopping systems, and online registrations, online railway reservation, online bus reservation like that we know. So all these things are coming under interactive applications only. So it increases the engagement of the user in the collaborative productions instead of spending lot of time on one-way presentation being shared across the PowerPoint. An interactive application allows the user to engage the information used. Files can be easily shared, accessed, edited, and saved. The interactive application, it is used to increase the communication, boost up the communication. The information can be shared using the email, print, and files. The intention of the user to handle the application can be identified by interactive sessions. He make the applications. This is helpful in boosting the communication. The documents can be donated effectively and changes can be made while handling the interactive applications. The tools such as 3D modeling, hyperlinks, video links and other applications are embedded with the interactive applications. So how you are communicating to the application with the program, with the project, that is called as interactive application. The interconnectivity among the interactive application allows the greater availability. The user can connect. Example, you see in our mobile and all, we are downloading from the Google Play Store and then we are interacting with the application. That is a mobile app. It may be used in iOS or Android. So the information can be made available to the fingertips by using the touch screen technologies. This is normally what we are doing. We are downloading and then we are interacting with the application. The user can interactive application for getting the required information. The user always wants the desired information must be neatly arranged on the application. There are two kinds of browsing information, searching and casual browsing. Searching means the known item is done by the user who wants to see what is actually more explanations. Then what is a particular label, how to proceed getting a particular information. Example, if you want to search or get some more data about this, we are giving in the search engine, Google search engine, how it is behaving. And then casual browsing, it does not know, we have to look in deep analysis we are of a particular topic. So we want to discuss about the products, we don't know about that, means we are doing the services. The cost is a major issue while building the information architecture. And producer perspective means whoever is developing that, it is going to be developed. One cannot predict the exact cost of the information architect. However, depending upon the goals and the nature of the application only, how much cost is required in developing and implementing the complete application is done. This is on the perspective of the producer. Producer is nothing but the programmer or the developer who is involved in developing the application and then implementing the application. The organization goals and visions must be clear to the information. Then what are actually the steps in creating the decision of the contents, what are the contents to be placed in the main page, whether we want registration form, means let us assume in the first unit we have discussed about the registration form. In that, what we will discuss is, we know what is the title we are placing, whether we have to give the date, my name, then register number, all this information we should draw a layout, then only we can come to a conclusion. The information architecture must be kept away from the organization politics. The site should be designed so that the intended audience will get the satisfaction. The user has to feel a convenient one atmosphere while he is using our application. All the controversial issues must be resolved during a design process before the application gets built up. Now, what are actually the steps in creating, we have studied. Next is, what are the things we have to understand about the application. So actually, from the database to the graphical user interface, we are going to understand what are the things that is required. Data items and data dictionary. What is actually a data item? A data item is a unit of information. Example, name is a data item, number is a data item. It defines how the item can be used. Then what is a data dictionary? A data dictionary is a collection of all the descriptions of the data objects. Example, integer, float. Like that, a data dictionary collects the description of the data object. If you consider a name consists of what? It is a text or it is a alphanumeric character. Like that, the descriptions can be stored in a data dictionary. A data dictionary is a dynamic. Any changes in the data are effective immediately for all applications that include the data item. Then applications can access the data dictionary at runtime immediately to see some modifications. Suppose when you are developing, you want to convert from integer to float, or you want the data like this, then you can do some changes in the data dictionary. Then it can access easily for any modification. The data dictionary is created for modeling the data item in the interactive application. So what is the use of a data item? What is a data dictionary? As you all know, dictionary is a collection. So we can do with the help of that. Then how to understand the table design. Table design means you are separating the data from the application and you are going to store the data in the table design. So a relational database table stores the data that an application uses in columns and rows, a sequence of columns and rows. Each column is a data item and row is a record. One or more tables can be used in any application. To create a table, the data required are selected. Those data items must already exist in the data dictionary. The assigned key field. What are the field? Field is nothing but every column is called as a field and every row is called as what? Data item. It is called as a data record. Then various operations can be performed on the database. They can insert a record, create a record, delete, do some updations. All these things can be done. Then understanding a business view. Next is this, a table design. Then business view design. A business view design is selection of data items from one or more tables. So you are taking the data items from one or more table and design in your application. So after you create a table, use a business view design to choose the data items that is required for your application. Then you can use appropriate SQL commands. SQL means what? Structured query language. It is used to retrieve the data from any of the supported Then what is actually understanding the form design? Form design is an important part of the interactive. Form design means it is only visible to the user. So it composed of forms, and a form is an interface between the user and the table. The interface should present the data logically and contain the functions that are necessary to enter and manipulate the data. The form design task can be accomplished by placing various components such as text box, labels, buttons, checkbox, and so on to appropriate locations. In an appropriate location, we have to design a form. So it is mainly used for interacting with the user, because the user is going to see only the form. What will happen inside is told in the data dictionary table, these things. Then understanding the report design. Report design is, if you want to get a summary, then it is available in the report design. It is used to present a business data stored in the database as a summary. A report is basically some kind of template. The data is typically presented using batch application, access the data through business views. Each report is comprising of sections which are building blocks of all the reports. Within the template, you can add, hide, remove, and rearrange the sections as needed. One can create variations of the reports in the interactive application. So a report design is going to prepare a cumulative report or a summary report. If example, in our college, I want to see what are actually the 10 students data of those students scored above 9 GPA. I want to list. So in all the department, we have the students who are secured above 9. That means it is not an individual data, it is a summary or a report that will be coming. That is called as a report design. Whenever it is required, you can prepare, because it is used for further analysis. That is the use of a report design. Then understanding the data structure design. Data structure design means it is a key element in any programming language. Data structure means how to store the data, how many bytes are required, where you are storing the values. That is completely based on the data structure design. It is used in any programming language. It is a list of parameters that passes the data among the applications or the form. That is called as data structure design. Then understanding the event rule. Event rule means the areas at which event rules are applicable. Event means clicking is an event, dragging is an event, dropping is an event. All these events, when we are doing, what should happen, that is represented in the event rule design. So the controls are reusable components that can be placed on the form. Example, radio button, text button, and so on. These are called as control. The events can be triggered from those controls. Example, radio button means if you select an option, that is called as actually a triggering an event. What is the event you are doing? You are selecting, no, that is the event that is doing in the radio button. Then form processing. Form processing means applications of business logic associated with the each form. That means when you click this form, when you submit this form, what will happen, where we have to store, that is represented in the form design. So the form processing depends upon the occurrence of the specific event. Then table, you can create a table design trigger on the rules that are attached to a table by using a table design. Event rules, the logic that is attached to the table is run whenever the application initiates a database event. So when you start a database event, what event you have occur. So the events are nothing but the activities. That means clicking is I said no, clicking is an event. Dragging is an event. So that can occur in a form of an interactive application. Event can be initiated by the user and an application. The event rules can be initiated by the user. The event rules can be created for the following purpose. What is the purpose? For performing some mathematical calculation. Suppose if you give the degree, you want to find the sine theta, then you want to find the cos theta, or some mathematical calculation if you want to do. Suppose if you want to find the square root of a particular number, then you have to do, then pass the data from one field to another field. That means if suppose date of birth is used for age calculation, so that is passing a data from one field to another field. Then it interconnected two forms, hide and display the controls using the system function, assign the value or an expression to a particular field, creation of variables or programmer defined field at runtime. The process take input and output, validate the data and retrieve the data. These are actually the events, or what are the event rules that is used for what purposes. Then understanding the system function. System functions are procedures provided by the tool and are usually specific to the time of component. Type of the component means it may be a button or a submit button or update button or clear, reset. All these things we can have. For example, there are system functions to hide and show the fields of